One fine day, I was on my way back home from classes. I had to cross the road and take a rickshaw to reach home. I had crossed one side of the road and I was about to see the other side. But before that, I stepped down from the divider and a bike came and dashed me. I fell face down and my chin hit the road. The dress got tangled in the wheel of the bike and I got dragged for a few meters. There was a wound somewhere and I started bleeding profoundly. And my dress was soaked in blood. Before I reached the hospital, the people around gathered and started abusing the driver and took care of me and walked me to the hospital, which was nearby. My parents were called and they rushed to the hospital. When I reached the hospital, they thought that I had some internal bleeding and took me to the operation theatre. I was told to lie down, but because I had a deep wound in the chin, out of pain, I couldn't lie down. I asked the help from the nurse. She was in such a hurry. She said, "Manage it on your own. The doctor is about to come. Lie down quickly." I somehow held my head and managed to lie down on my own. I was waiting for the doctors and nurses to attend me in the operation theatre. And while I was lying alone, I asked Jesus, "Lord, it was such a nice and normal day. Why this accident had to happen?" Jesus reminded me a passage from the Bible. He reminded me about how he hardened the Pharaoh's heart so that he could perform more miracles through the situation. In the same way, Jesus reminded me the passage from Exodus chapter 7 verse 3. Lord said, "And I will harden the Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt." The doctors and nurses dressed up my wounds and gave me medicines and discharged me. But when I reached home, by evening there was a heavy swelling and pain. I couldn't open my mouth to eat or drink or anything. I thought of the verse that God gave me and asked Jesus, "Lord, you said you allowed it to happen so you can perform more miracles. But it's just getting worse. What should I do?" There was no answer. My family started praying for me. Those who visited me, everyone prayed for me. Next day, as my whole face was badly swollen, we went to the hospital and took X-ray to find out that I had a fracture on my face. There was a long crack on my chin and my jaw bones on both the ends moved from its actual position, and it needed a 3-hour surgery. We fixed the operation dates, which was just 2 days away. But my dad thought of approaching a bigger hospital as it was a surgery on the face. He didn't want to take any risk. We cancelled the operation dates and took appointment in another hospital. But to our disappointment, we found out that the orthopedic specialist was out of town and he would return 10 days later. Me with a swollen face and on a liquid diet with pain and prayer waited for the doctor. Again in the nights, I used to cry out to the Lord, "Lord, you told me that you will perform miracle through this situation, but the situation seems to get worse. Where is my miracle?" I got no answer. 10 days passed and finally we went to the specialist. He took the X-ray again and then we were in the waiting room. I was on the verge of crying, thinking about my situation, on how worse it is getting. I said, Lord, I couldn't see any miracle so far. What if the fracture got worse? Surgery in such a big hospital seems even more scary. Lord, where is my miracle? Then it was our turn. We entered the doctor's clinic. He examined the x ray for a while and I couldn't believe what he said. The doctor said, has 2 weeks passed by after the accident, the fractures have started to heal naturally. The jaw bones and the crack on my chin has regained its positions naturally. It will heal. No surgery is required. I was on cloud 9. When I stepped out of the doctor's clinic, the Lord reminded me of the words He spoke to me and said, in these weeks when you are worried and anxious, I was performing a miracle in your life. I let this happen in your life so that I can perform a miracle through your life. I realized that in the days where I was worrying and there was no answer, God was working on my miracle, greatest miracle. Dear friends, if you're watching this video and are waiting for a miracle in this situation in your life, call into Jesus with faith. There may be times where you find or hear no answer at all, but believe that God is working a miracle through your situations and you will see it soon. With Jesus, nothing is impossible.